Hey everybody, it's TotalGamerJunkie. I want to welcome you all back to my... So a few hours ago, the Life is Strange TikTok just released this new video of Amanda, and it's really not as interesting as the previous one with the dialogue options, but it's a new one and I'm going to cover it. So first off, before I talk about the images, I want to discuss these names. Now, I don't know if either this is just the developers having a little joke, or if these are names that Max can call Amanda, which I think would be pretty funny if you can come up with all these names for her. Or pick one of these names to name her, but if I find out, if you can have Max call Amanda one of these names, then I'll let you all know. Alright, so these three images you see here, I am 100% confident that they're from the little cafe or bar that Max and Sophie are at, because I recognize from the first image, Amanda's making the pose where she goes to Max, hey, you look really good today, and it was in that TikTok video where they were showing off the various clothing from each of the DLC packs. So that's the scene where she's like, you look really good, and then later she walks off. So all these scenes, they all happen in that cafe bar, whatever it is. As for the third image, that's something new that may be from when Max is talking to Amanda. We saw in a previous TikTok video dialogue, there are different dialogue options, A and B. So this may be from one of those where after Max talks to her or after she leaves, Amanda will just strike that pose, because we've seen her strike another one in a previous video where instead of just giving the little gun symbols with her fingers, she's just giving Max a thumbs up. So regardless of whether this is from a choice you make or from a dialogue option you choose, it's at the same place. Now in this next shot you can see Amanda is wearing different clothes, and I'm pretty sure that this scene would take place after the events in the cafe, because of how she's wearing a different coat. And we actually, before this came out, we actually see her in this coat in one of the, what was it, the reveal stream I think it was? Yeah, we see her wearing this same coat, and it's the scene where Max takes a photo of her. Now, I'm not sure where exactly this scene is, but this one and the previous three I showed you, it all takes place in the same area. But when does it take place? I believe this will take place in Chapter 2, and the reason why is because when Max uses her new power for the first time and she brings Sophie back to life, Max is wearing the exact same shirt or sweater that she is when she's taking a photo of Amanda. Now, also, we see this a few other times as well. We see it when the detective is talking to Max, which assumably is after Sophie's death. Because Max is wearing that coat with the beanie and the gloves all the time, we don't see what she's wearing underneath, so we can't tell what scenes take place or even what episode it is. But with the way that Amanda is smiling when she's getting her photo taken, I'm gonna say that this would have to be in the new timeline where Sophie's still alive and Max and Amanda are just hanging out. And who knows, that photo could possibly be a collectible. Now, if these scenes take place in the new timeline, why does Amanda look a bit sad here? She looks, in the middle photo, she looks sad. Screenshot, sorry. And in the next one, she seems a bit concerned. Could this be a little after episode 2, perhaps? Could that scene where Sophie pulls Max out of the way as something's going to crush the two of them, could that have possibly happened? And then Amanda finds out and she's worried for Max because she has feelings for her? These are all questions. We'll have to wait till the episodes come out, but I am 100% certain that this scene will take place after episode 1. Because I assume that's my guess how episode 1 is going to end. Max is in this new timeline with Sophie and her mom. You see that scene where they're just sitting together. And I think when Max decides she's going to stay in this timeline and figure out who murdered Sophie in her one so she can save her in this one, then I think the episode's going to end there. And then when the next episodes pick up, we start using Max's powers more. Now these next two scenes, I can tell where they're from. the one on the left is the scene where Max says to Amanda, "Let's thrash Shaka Bra," and the one on the right is from that scene where everything's dark and Amanda says to Max, "Be careful," and Max says, "When am I not?" Now, I personally don't believe these two scenes happen around the same time, even though Amanda has the same clothes on, though I could be wrong, and the reason I think this is because if you look in the background behind Amanda when she tells Max to be careful, you notice that it's kind of foreshadowing. I don't know if it's happening yet, but on the left of Amanda there's red, and on the right of her there's blue coming out of the windows. And this could maybe it's not happening now, but it could be foreshadowing the blue and red moons coming together in one timeline. Now, the next scene on the right, I believe, takes place with the scene on the left, as you can tell from the lighting. So that's clearly the Shaka Bra scene. And I theorize that maybe this is, if Max does go on a date with Amanda, this scene will have them go to the comedy club or whatever it is, because Amanda told Max that she and Henry do comedy stuff together. So this could very well be Max tagging along, and then perhaps she and Amanda do some comedy together. I'm not too sure. Now, out of all the screenshots, I quite like this one because it shows us what the name of that cafe that Max, Safi and Amanda are at, and it's called the Snapping Turtle, so we know that's good, so I'm going to start calling it the Snapping Turtle whenever I refer to the cafe, or bar, or whatever it is. Now, if you look over Amanda's shoulder, you'll see what appears to be a microphone or a microphone stand. Now, this in itself could be, as I said before, if Max accepts a date from Amanda, and two of them go to this comedy club, perhaps rather than do something with Amanda, Max is sitting in the crowd and she notices Amanda, and perhaps Max will wave to her, and this can kind of catch Amanda off guard for a few seconds. You can see her face here, she looks a little confused, so perhaps that could happen, and then she could get herself back on track. And I also know she's wearing a different type of necklace here, because in most scenes that we've seen with Amanda, she always has the same necklace, so this is interesting to see how different it is, and possibly it could just be part of when she changes outfits, she puts on a different necklace, or maybe it could be something symbolic, I don't know, because with Life is Strange games there's a lot of symbolism involved, so, maybe I'm overthinking it, maybe not. And speaking of scenes, let's get to the last one here. Now, in this last scene, we see Amanda sitting on some type of bench. We see that she's got a cup there, and I think she's talking to Max because the way she's holding her hands, I've mentioned this before, and the first time we see her do this is when she's talking to Max. This is in the TikTok video where Max had the Halloween costumes, well, not the Halloween, but one of them was, but there were different costumes, and you see her doing this with her hand. And then we see her doing it again in another TikTok video, so I don't think it's a coincidence that she's doing it here, because you can tell from her body language when she's trying to talk to Max, she seems to be a bit nervous around Max when she wants to ask something. So I think it's very interesting. Maybe this scene could happen after what happened here at the Snapping Turtle, or maybe even later in the episode. The two of them could just go out and just have a drink and talk, and maybe it's this scene right here rather than, because we've all speculated that if Max says to Safi she's in a relationship with Chloe, then when Max goes over and talks to Amanda, she has to let her down gently at that scene. But maybe it's not there, maybe something happens. Maybe Amanda's called, she has to go work in the back room of the Snapping Turtle, or perhaps something happens and Max has to leave and she doesn't have time to explain to Amanda that she's in a relationship. So this could very well be that scene. Or maybe when Amanda gives Max her number, the two of them are just sitting at this place, which I assume would be outside given the background, like somewhere near one of the campus buildings perhaps, Or maybe it's even outside the snapping turtle. I don't know. But that could be the date itself. I'm not too sure. But yeah, anyways, that's really all I wanted to talk about in this video. I have a lot more coming up tomorrow. August is going to be a big month for Life is Strange content, so I have another Amanda video I want to get out, but I wanted to get this one out first because it's new. And I also have those other theory videos that will be coming out. I don't know if I want to upload all of them in one go, or maybe just make them a daily thing, but I'll figure that out later. So that's the end of this video. I do hope you all enjoyed it, and please let me know your thoughts and comments below. What do you think of these scenes? Which ones are your favorite? And any theories you have, let me know. This is TotalGamerJunkie, signing off.